And it featured Naomi Lipsky, who's with us here today, and Nancy Katz. So those two artists spoke about and showed their beautiful Judaic artwork. This Sunday afternoon, we have two very talented artists who work in another vein completely. And Aileen Quinn is with us today, who does beautiful, she works mainly in watercolor, mainly seascapes, and she's going to be showing you some of her work and do a brief demo. And after Aileen, we have our own Sisterhood member, Lisa Guarino, who does also beautiful work, and she does a lot of nature and horses and things like that. So you'll see a lot of her work as well. So we're very lucky to have both artists here. They're, giving their precious time to be with us today and sharing their talents. So I'm really so happy about all of this, and I hope they enjoy it as well. If you have any questions, I think probably the best thing would be for them to do their presentation first, and then they would take questions afterwards. You can even type the questions into the chat box, which they'll address when their presentations are through. The other thing I would like to ask you is to mute yourself, okay? And then we can go from there. I asked both artists, like last week, if they could send me their bio, and because it's good to get to know their background, because obviously it pertains to what they're doing now. So Aileen sent me a wonderful bio, which I will read. She says, I was raised in Warwick, Rhode Island on the waterfront, first in Connecticut and then later in Buttonwoods. I moved away to live and work in Boston while in my 20s and 30s. I moved back when I married and raised two sons out in the woods of Coventry, where I have lived for just about 30 years. I have practiced art in many forms all my life. As a teenager, I was able to spend summers at RISD, enjoying many art programs in Providence and at Tillinghast Farm in Barrington. I enrolled at the Technical High School at Warwick's Tollgate Vocational School, where I learned a great deal under the instruction of commercial artist Jim Corrigan. After graduating, I moved to Boston and studied the art of sign painting at Butera School of Art. Those early years made a great impact on my becoming a lifelong learner and appreciator of many forms of art. Having a varied art background gave me many opportunities to work and learn under a great many trades artists during the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. I believe these experiences also helped form me to become an encouraging art instructor. After raising my family and seeing my trade as sign artist become computerized, I began to seek time and instruction in the fine arts program, in the fine arts again. Watercolor has also been my passion for more than 40 years. I continue to paint as much as I can and have enjoyed showing my work at several local galleries in Rhode Island over the past 5 years. I have also been able to step into the local art community by serving on the board of directors at Warwick Center for the Arts. Part of my local experience has included the establishment of the Fresh Palette Art Studio at Audubon's Parker Woodland Nature Center in Coventry. I have also enjoyed facilitating painting and art workshops for adults, teens, and children at libraries throughout Rhode Island over the past 10 years. While seascapes have always been a large portion of my work, lately I have also been incorporating natural items into my paintings. Each trip to the shore is made with a bag or bucket in hand to pick up sea glass and all kinds of treasures. The daily beauty, changing tides and seasons on the bay have always been an integral part of my life. Abstract interpretations with a variety of natural and recycled items are a new addition to some of my paintings. These found items add a special tale and memory to each piece. It is my hope to inspire others to see their natural surroundings in a whole new way after viewing some of my new pieces of art. So with that said, I hope all of us can warmly welcome Aileen Monahan Quinn.
Thank you.
Aileen, half a second. Lynn, you are pinned so that you're half of the screen and Aileen is on half. If you can unpin yourself, Lynn, then just Aileen will show up. Do you know how to unpin yourself?
I'm just seeing Aileen.
All right, I'm not. So
I'm in speaker view.
I'm seeing Lynn also. I see that she's pinned in speaker view.
So Lynn, do you know how to get yourself unpinned?
I'm gonna go get one thing.
Okay, well, she's unpinning herself. Do you hear me, honey? Yay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm back. Are we all set? Okay. Well, I want to thank you for having me. Are we ready to start?
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. I have, oh, can you see my hands anymore?
We're looking at you. Do you want to switch
Okay.
the camera?
Well, I'll just show you one of my pieces that I used for, this is one of the pieces that I have the watercolor and the pieces from my beach walks. I have sea glass that I used for the boats and the lighthouse. I can put it flat if you want to see it, and then I'll get to the watercolors. You want to put it on the document camera? Yeah, I don't know if you can see it better now. So it's basically a shadow box with a painting, and then I added my the different pieces of sea glass and porcelain. So it's kind of fun. That's just one sample. And then I have one other one I can show you. This doesn't have any painting to it. It's just pieces of structural, a collage of pieces of things that I found with a lighthouse. So that was kind of fun. But the paintings were separate. So I have several pieces that I wanted to show you. Are you familiar with watercolors already? The classes that I teach, I go through a little bit of color theory, and we do color mixing, and all of the colors that you see here were made with only the three primary colors, the yellow, red, and the blue. Even all of these down here, they're all combined. Watercolors. And I just finished one that I'll share with you. There are several different techniques. This was a class that I had just started and brought a picture that I liked from the calendar, and I just practiced some techniques. Over here you can see the different values of the clouds after this top of the mountain overlooking the view here. So that one I just finished. I was going to use this other one as my demo. They're both kind of a pair or a series of outdoor paintings. And this one here is, I have it sketched out, but you probably can't see it all that well. This would be a more of a difficult one to do today. So what I decided to do is this is what I would like to do for my demo for you. But before I get started painting, I guess I could just kind of tell you a little bit more about what I've been doing. At Warwick Center for the Arts, I've been teaching watercolor classes. And when we had to close because of COVID, I wasn't able to continue. I've been dragging my feet for 9 months to learn to do the online classes, which I've just started to do. So I'm really excited about that. And so I have been doing quite a bit of painting. I go back and forth really with my work. This is I mostly work outside. I'm a plein air painter. And this is one that I need to finish. This was down at Edgewood Yacht Club. All of the watercolor is done now. I am going to do the rest of the rendering in charcoal pencil. I had started, let's see, when I was 14 is when I had my first painting here. This one I did in 1977. It's a picture of my dad's boat. It's a pen and ink rendering with watercolor. And one other old one. What did I do with it? And this one I just finished, but that was the oldest one. I just finished this. For a time, I really became obsessed with the Aurora Borealis, and a lot of my classes were dramatic skies, weather, a lot of atmospheric painting. And this shows the roots of the trees. It's kind of a more of a spiritual setting where the meaning behind it is how everyone works together. All the roots are intertangled, and I love to paint trees. I also like to paint the bay, as you heard in my bio, which I've done quite a bit. Here's one. I'll just show you. This is a weather, a watercolor of, well, you really can't see it that well with the lighting. But I started out outside and it started to rain. So I was able to mix the rain in with the painting. So it was very enjoyable. I love to be outside in all sorts of weather. So what I would do starting with my painting is I have a palette. Let's see, what time do we have? I have my palette over here, which has all my many colors. And I also have two palettes that are, one has cool colors and the other one has warm colors. And this is what, it's all mixed up. And that's what I'm going to use to do my painting that I've got here. I just love the colors and the dry brush. Has anyone painted in watercolor before? Okay, so I am going to set up here with my picture and my palette. Right here. I have several brushes that I use ordinarily. Rounds and flats. Liners or script brushes. And I have a quill that I'll use for my most of my washes. Got my water here, right on the side. But first, I'll show you the picture again, but I'm going to put it over here on my easel so I can see it. Usually I would just have one horizon line for something simple like this. It's mostly water. So I'm going to take and just remind myself that I have one horizon line here. there. Okay. There are several colors. I mix my palette first, which is right here. I'm going to mix the palette. Put the water here too. I'm going to start with the blue at the top. Got my warm colors and my cool colors. I'm just going to mix a few puddles here. There's some cobalt. And I'm going to mix my cobalt with the cerulean and make another area on the side. Now with watercolor, we don't use white paint. We use the white of the paper and more or less water on the brush. So more water is a lighter color. So I've just made a nice puddle of lighter blue over here. But I'm going to add a little bit more of the cobalt to it. As you can see in the picture, I'm going to start up here. And I'm also going to use another round to mix up some of our sunset orange. So I've got a little orange and some red mixing here. I'm going to put my blue brush up here so we don't mix it together. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of yellow right here. There, lighter. In the picture, there's also a beautiful violet I'm going to mix up next to the blue, as you can see it here. I'm getting all my colors ready on my palette ahead of time because it's I have to go quickly. Once I put my water on the paper to get my washes on, I don't want to be mixing up the colors after the fact. I've got to get them ready first. So I'm going to get a little bit of the purple here. So I've got my red brush and a little bit of yellow. Let me get some more yellow from this palette over here too. I've got another palette I'm working on this side too. I've got some extra. So here's the yellow. Let me get a little bit more. There. And I'm going to set this brush aside. Now I'm going to get my wash brush and I'm going to mix a little bit of alizarin crimson in between the ultramarine here. Right here, ultramarine is a little bit, is a little cooler. It's more of a cooler blue. It has more, I'm sorry, a warmer blue. It has some red tones to it. So I just love to mix my purple with alizarin crimson and my ultramarine. And here it is. I'm going to twist the excess paint and put it right back in the palette. Can you see that there? Okay, the purple's going to go last. So I'm going to put my brush aside for the purple farther away. All right, I'm going to move my palettes because I've got my paint all ready to go on my enameled palette here. I'm just going to move it a little bit further. Paper towels are always handy to have. Yeah, okay. Now I've got some clean water. I had my other water there that I'll keep to rinse the brushes out in. So I have 2 cans of water, 2 containers. One I keep for my clean washes, which is what I'm going to do right now. I have a flat. And I'm going to paint with water on the top in the sky. I'm just going to do a wet and wet wash. And this sheet is flat. I want to put it a little bit at an angle on my board here. I'm going to put something under it so we get a little bit of an angle here. If it changes our view, well, let's see. No, I'm just going to do it like this because I've got the camera. All right. So I've got my wet background with clear water for the sky, just up to the horizon line. And I'm going to take my blue brush with the cobalt and the cerulean, the light part of my picture right here. And I'm going to do this part first. Let's see. More cerulean. Here it is. Okay, pretty blue. Okay, back and forth here, left to right, mostly over here. Left to right. This is a wet and wet wash. I'm just going to go right up to the horizon line. I'm going to take and remove some of this because I want to put in my orange, the red. I'm going to work my way up. Wash. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's blending. Now I've got my purple. I think I'm going to put a little bit more red closer to the horizon here. There. There. I'm cleaning my brush a little. I've got some dry brush here that I'm going to just remove a little bit here. Yeah. Now we'll add some more red. So the colors are blending nicely together. Now I'm going to go over and wet my blue sky a little bit more to the left here, just with clear water. Only once, because I'm going to add my purple. There. And here comes the purple. Yeah, let's see. Just gonna pat it and dot it here. It's a little bit too, I need more red in it. I'm gonna get a little more alizarin crimson there. And my French ultramarine. I just want it to be a little bit more red here towards this. Here. And then it mixes in with the there. Here we are. There. Okay. It's more of a pinkish change here. There. Much lighter. And now I'm going to get some more blue over here. There. Okay. Kind of puffy. Nice puffy clouds up in the top part of the there. No, I'm just going to soften that a little bit here. Kind of a gradual change to where the cerulean is at the top. Now, the fun part. I've got my palette still, and now I'm going to do the water. But while it's wet still, I'm going to add a little bit more of that cerulean up here. The top. There we go. Just a little darker. The top here. The sky with the dark color at the top kind of gives it a little bit more depth. A little more believable as it folds around there. All right, now I'm going to have the reflection. I'm going to do the exact opposite, and I'm going to work my way down with the water. There. So I'm going to do my orange and my blue. Let's see. When you do the dry brush, though, you want to have a paper towel nearby. So I have my brush that has orange in it now. But first I want to put a little bit of that sky blue at the bottom because it's light, it's lighter. Clean water over here. Yeah. Really light. There, so I have a sheet of paper that I want to kind of match up a little bit here with my blues. See how I have the blue that I've worked my way. Since it's the lightest color, I'm going to paint it in on the bottom, and I'm going to leave some white too. There. There. Okay. Work it up a little bit more here. There. Now I'm going to put a little bit of that purple in too from the sky. Working my palette here. And soften that up. With my my flat that's just damp now. It's not loaded with paint and it's not loaded with water, and I'm just getting my background together here so I can let that dry. There's a picture again, I'll show you. It's very subtle yet. It's very subtle on the bottom here. And let's see. I want to add some of the orange up here. This is going to be the reflection. While this is drying down here, I'm going to work this area. Not very much paint. Let me get some more red. Let's see. A little bit more to work in the puddle here. This is a bright Windsor red. And I've got my, let's see, here we go. A little bit more orange here. Okay, let's roll that out. And mix a little bit together. Yeah. Now I'm going to use my flat, but I'm going to do it just a dry brush. Yeah. Which means I'm going to tap out the excess paint and just work from left to right here. Just to establish that first coat of the water closer to the sky. There. Tap out a little bit more. And now I've got my dry brush. I just grabbed a little bit of purple. And then I'm going to make that go right across the top here. It's very still. Grab a little bit of the blue. The closer it comes to the foreground, the darker the paint, the blue will be, and the wider the strokes. I'm just gonna, there. There. Need a little bit more of a subtle transition here. So I'm going to remove some of that purple. There. Add a little bit more up here. There. There we go. And I really would like to have some more of that blue in here too. It's like an ice blue. Reminds me of the blue that you see from the runoff of glaciers. Let's see, where's that? I'm going to use a little bit of this manganese. Yeah. And some more of the cerulean. Kind of a dreamy. There we go. Soften that up there. Now this blue is really vivid here in the foreground. Let's see. See how bright that is? I'm gonna make this down here. I'm gonna add that blue to it. How are we doing for time? All right, better be quick here, huh? All right, so right from my other palette, I've got this manganese. There it is. There we go. I'm gonna add, here's my other palette. I'm gonna put this up here in the blue. Oh, you can't see it that well anymore. Yeah. Okay. Really pretty. Rich blue. I'm gonna just put in down here. But it's very soft, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of a wash before I add my paint. I'm just going over it with clean water to get this soft effect here on the bottom. There we go. Again, it's a little darker. Because it's closer to the foreground. This one's a little too dark there. And I can pull some of this away too with my flat. It's clean still. I can pull some of that away. There. And it has a lot of purple in it still. So this is where I'm going to add more of the purple. There. While it's wet. Let me see if I've got the right color here. A little darker. So I've got my little sheet. I call it a sacrifice sheet to match the color. A little darker. I think I'll add a little bit of ultramarine blue to that purple. Let's give it a go here before it dries out. It's still wet. It's still wet down here. And I'm just going to pull some of this purple in from the side. And darker over here. Yeah, wet, darker here. More purple. And it also has a little bit of orange in it. So I'm going to pull some of this out and add a little bit of that orange in the water down here. It's got to be clean. Let's see. There. One more stroke. Clean this up a little bit. Get my orange brush. Mostly pigment, not much water, just to add a little bit in here. It will get muddy if it's not clean. Just a little bit. Maybe some here too. There. Here we go. Put some here. Got to keep it clean though. Just a little bit. Yeah. Just to give that suggestion of the sky reflection. Okay, now I'm just going to add a little bit of dark, and then I'm going to put the land on the horizon there. Just to darken this up a little bit from my palette. Mostly pigment, not a lot of water at this point, just to give it some contrast. There. Maybe one more down here too. I don't like that going in there. Just soften it a little bit. There. Be a little bit there. And that side. And I'm going to save that purple for when I put my bird in at the end. There. Okay. All right, now I've got my, I'm going to go to back to my palette and get some Windsor blue that I'm going to add here from my right here. It's going to be nice and dark. I'm going to make a gray, but a cool gray. I've got my other palette here. I'm going to take a little bit of Prussian blue and some Payne's gray, which is over here. And I'm going to mix it with that blue to get my horizon line and my body, my land mass right here. I'll show you the picture again. Put my palette down. I mean my brush down for a minute. So I've got the land mass I'm going to put in now, which has some nice reflection in it as well. I've got some white there I want to save to make it look like the lighting above the landmass, kind of like a city. All right, one more paper towel here. All right, don't want to put too much on. All right, here we go. There, nice and dark to make it pop. Okay, now I'm going to take my small round and I'm going to give it a little bit of texture. Let's see. There. Just so you can see what the tops of the trees or the buildings would be like. There. A little bit of texture all the way across, nice and dark. To grab a little bit more pigment here. I don't want to have too much. There. And leaving that white. There. Now I'm going to do a little bit of dry brush to get a reflection, because there is that reflection here in the water a little. Oh, here it is right here. If you can see it. I'm going to use my liner to get that far off reflection. This is an outliner, a nice long script brush with that same blue. Let's see if I can keep my hand steady. Just go across here. There. There we go. Let me start from this side now. Yeah. Okay. Now a little bit of dry brush. Just to there. Now our bird. There. See the, you see the picture? There. I really like this seagull here, but I'm going to have to get the hairdryer to dry it and add the bird. Do we have enough time for that? All right. Got my hairdryer. There we are. Good. I'm going to use a watercolor pencil to draw in my seagull. I have my pencils here. I'm just going to use a gray one. Let's see. Let's use this one. I've got my, that's the black one. I'll just be light-handed on it. Wait a minute, what's this? Yep, blue-gray. Let's use that one instead. Just to get the outline of him. It's Jonathan there. Okay. And I think he'd be nice, right? Not smack in the middle, just maybe a little bit to the right. There. Kind of give him a shape of, if you can see, he's pretty big. There. And this guy, wing goes up here, not so high. There. And there's his head. There. Graceful little body. There. That should be enough. And I'm also going to paint the seagull in the same, from the same puddle as the landmass. With my small round, I'm going to get a point, and I'm going to start right here. But I've got to take my glasses off to do the detail. I'm just going to pull down and get my point there. And there. Give a little suggestion of a seagull. There we go. Give him a little bit of texture there. And he's going to have a little bit more strength in that wing, I think. There. There we go. And a little roundedness there. And then again, go back with the point. There. Okay. I think that's good. Let's make this a little rounder too. Yeah. There it is. Now we'll get his body in here. The watercolor is translucent, so the more times I go over it, the darker it will be. I've got my point here. Yeah.
I don't want to make it too big. And then his body, I'm just filling in with the remainder. Nice little brush stroke here. Very little head. And then here's his beak. I'm going to make it a little bit darker by adding more paint onto his body. Yeah. That's some nice contrast on the bottom here. There. There he is. That'll do. I don't want to overdo it. Now I'm going to put the reflection in. So I'm going to tap most of the paint out of my brush because the reflection will be done in a dry brush. So it'll be the opposite of what we have here. Just kind of remind me here. There. A little bit of space. Too much pigment, still going to take away a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. Just a suggestion of a reflection in the water. There. There. And his beak. I would like to be sitting outside doing this right now. Yeah. A little darker. A little bit darker. Make it more believable. And I can always darken it up with my watercolor pencil too, but I like to stay true to it and use the paint for the whole thing. Yeah, it's a little extended a little bit there, but that's okay. There. So here's my painting and here's the picture. It's tough to tough to get exactly alike, but it's fun. And then I just take my tape off. The tape holds the paper down when I use the wet and wet washes, so it does not curl on me. And I think this will look pretty in the frame. This is a 12 by 12 inch piece of cold pressed 140 pound watercolor paper. So it's pretty thick. It's not the thickest as you can get, but yeah. Yeah. Done. Yeah. Here's the picture. So thank you.
You want me to switch the camera?
Hi. Good.
Absolutely beautiful. I think.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
That was fantastic, I mean.
It's kind of crazy how it starts, huh?
It is beautiful, very pretty.
Thank you.
And it's so relaxing to watch you do
Oh,
it.
good. I'm glad.
Thank you very much.
It might be nice to have something in the foreground, but I'm just going to leave it alone because I did copy the picture, the photograph. Calendars, I have more calendars that I save and I use them for classes. And but like I said, I am a plein air painter. I love to get out and paint outdoors. I haven't done much of that in the winter. So this is a good alternative. Thanks.
It's true. And Naomi just put something very true in the chat that it it looks easy to do the way you did it, Aileen, but it's not that easy at all. I've worked in watercolor in the past, and it was very difficult. And my work didn't come out anywhere near like yours. So I really appreciate
Oh, we'll have to keep at it then. Huh?
I know. Aileen, do you want to give your website so people?
Oh, sure. It's AileenMQuinn.com. Aileen Monahan Quinn. Yep, AileenMQuinn.com. And you know, it takes a lot of time to keep a website going. It is a little outdated. I've been selling my work down in Westerly at the Westerly Artists Cooperative Gallery in the old railroad station. And I also have some work at the Warwick Center for the Arts too in the gallery. And that's where I've met Naomi. Thank you, Naomi. I always look forward to seeing you work.
Should I switch you back, Aileen?
Sure.
Anybody have any quick questions for Aileen?
That was fantastic. Great.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I also know how difficult that is. And to do it while people are watching is
really
10 times harder.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah.
Considering I changed what I was going to do last minute.
When you wanted to make something like you wanted to take some of the color out, the brush what was on the brush that you used?
When I changed the colors?
Or made it lighter on the palette itself?
Oh, well, I like to mix, I like to mix my colors with my rounds.
Right. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying when on the actual painting, if you felt like it needed to be adjusted.
Oh, yeah. I had to go and go back and forth from removing paint and adding more, but mostly removing and not putting too much.
Well, when you removed it, what was on the brush?
Oh, just water.
Oh, just water?
Yep, I got my flat here.
On the flat one, okay.
Use it like a chisel on the edge and just remove when it's dry. Mm. And you can add it flat. You can add the paint too, as I did in this part when I went over with hardly any paint at all, just pigment.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
Is there an artist that you especially admire? Who
oh yeah,
the most?
I like Turner. His work is bold and it's not a lot of detail. There's watercolors. There was a beautiful exhibit that they had. It was the first time his work was out of England was last February. Actually, I think it went right from January through February, March at Mystic Seaport. It was the first time his watercolors had been out of the country. It went right, and it was only here. So I went 3 times.
It was an amazing show.
Yeah. Did you go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible. Just, I really appreciate Andrew Wyeth, the Earth Tones. Yeah. I could paint every day. I need to paint every day. And I encourage everyone to pick up a couple of brushes. All you really need is a flat and a round and 3 tubes of paint. As I showed you from the beginning, I mixed all of these colors. It's laminated, so it might be a little shiny. I mixed all of these colors from 3 tubes, yellow, blue, and red. And depending on if it's going to be a winter palette or a summer palette, you would change up your primaries. The winter palette I like to use, and I did use mostly winter for this, is the ultramarine, alizarin crimson, and cadmium yellow. Oh no, the lemon yellow is more of a winter color. There's actually, lemon yellow is a cooler yellow than most of the cadmium yellows and gamboge and other colors. Oh, and then there's a couple of, I'm taking a class now. I can't wait to get there tomorrow morning at Providence Art Club. I just became a member. So I'm setting aside 1 day a week anyway right now to paint. So, and that's what I did. This is what I'm going to do tomorrow. My rock scene here.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. So I've got this person at the top and then the other person at the bottom. So I hope to be able to have them similar tone so I can hang them together or sell them as a set. Even though one looks like it's in the Adirondacks and the other looks like the Grand Canyon. Can't plan it that far, but so yeah, there's a lot of warm colors here. I really look forward to doing it, but I think it would have been too nerve-wracking to try to do it here. And it does, usually I work at an angle. The paper is usually at least a 30-degree angle. I'm learning though to be more confident and tilt it more upright. So we'll see where that leads. I have some other work too that I haven't finished. There's always so much to finish. Water. Another series I'm trying to do is fire, water, air, and earth. The four elements. I've got fire done already. You can see that on my website. But every time I try to do water and just have it be more abstract, I feel like I have to put something else in there. So I have to leave it alone. I've got to keep things simple.
Well, Aileen, we want to thank you so much for
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Your work and your beautiful demonstration. We really appreciate it so much.
I'm glad. Thank you so much for your help.
The technical, Naomi and Lynn, because we were having some trouble before, but I know everyone just enjoyed it, and you're so talented. And please go to her website, everyone, to see more of her work. I never get tired of looking at your work, Aileen. I mean, it's amazing.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Thanks.
Yeah. So definitely, take a look at her website. And if you have any questions, I know you would be happy to answer them if people contact you.
Anytime.
Yep, absolutely. That's wonderful.
If anybody wants to have a painting class.
Yeah.
At the Warwick Center for the Arts, we now have in the classroom, we have an air purifier, and we're allowed 6 people.
Good.
Including myself.
Good, absolutely. Look forward to seeing you there too.
Thanks, Debbie.
Great. Thank you again, Aileen. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit, and I hope you can stay, Aileen, for
I'd love to.
We're a little late, Lisa, but it was worth waiting for. I didn't want to cut Aileen short because she had wonderful things to show us, and I know Lisa did not mind at all. Speaking for Lisa, watching Aileen work, it was just absolutely fantastic. So our next artist is Lisa Guarino, and she sent me her bio, and I would just like to read it so you can get familiar with what she does and how she came to do what she does. So Lisa Guarino, as all of you know, is a Sisterhood member, and she has loved to draw since childhood. She lives in Pawtucket. Lisa enjoys doing artwork of animals and nature, and her favorite subject matter for drawings was always horses. From her first pony ride, she was taken by their gentleness and beauty. One of her first exhibits was with the Randolph Art Association Spring Exhibit, where she entered her horses, that's in quotation marks, that's the name of her work, into the student exhibit, and she received a first place ribbon. She pursued a career in art and attended Southeastern Massachusetts University, where she received a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. She sent her portfolio and samples out to many publishers. Though she seemed to come up dry, she pushed onward and created Lisa's Art and Horses. She decided to make her art business a reality. Lisa created gift items with animals and horses on them. She has set up her table of t-shirts, cards, and magnets at a few local horse shows and found some local tack shops to sell her t-shirts in. Lisa has exhibited her work with a few local art associations and the Equine Art Guild. She had her first solo exhibit in February and March of 2010 with Bank, Rhode Island, and her first solo exhibit featured her scratchboard artwork. So I would like all of us to give a very warm welcome to Lisa Guarino.
darn it. Hi. I'm so thankful to have this opportunity, and I've been a part of Temple Bethel Sisterhood for a couple of years. And, I enjoy sharing this with you today. Let's see. I'll share. Oh. Huh? Yeah, if I can. Wait a minute. Go to slideshow. So I named my business Lisa Art and Horses. The two passions I have are art and horses. I've been drawing for a really long time, since I was young. My mom, my mom said I picked up once I could pick up a pencil, I've been drawing. I'm going to share with you some of my artwork. So I'm going to share with you my artwork. Mostly it's going to be in my artwork. And
Lisa, excuse me, it's Lynn. I tried to spotlight you and I think it made your share screen disappear. So you need to share it again. I'm sorry.
It's there.
No, it's
It's
there.
there? It's there. Okay. Okay. Never mind.
Okay.
I got it. Thank you.
Does everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The technical stuff, yeah. I wanted to share with you some of my horse t-shirts with my products and talk about my pet portraits that I've done over the years. I need to do this. Okay. I enjoy working in pen and ink, and I've done a few mediums. I worked in a few mediums, but some of my favorite mediums to work in are pen and ink.
Lisa, do you have a background in art?
Yeah. Pen and ink, pastels, and scratch board. This is a pen and ink I did for a friend as a commission for a gift. I used to live in Randolph, and there was a pond there. So there's really a story behind my art. Each piece has like a story. So I used to live in Randolph, and there used to be a reservoir nearby, and I used to like to go down to the reservoir and see the wildlife, the water, and the birds. That I would often bird watch, and actually one of my favorite birds was the great blue heron. And I would take my camera with me, and I'd take pictures as for reference material. And then I would go back home, and I would then do the pen and ink drawing. And this is in pen and ink, as I said. And what I like about pen and ink is that the various lines I can do, and I can do light lines or darker lines, and then I can also make like some movement with the lines to show some flow of movement in the picture. So that was that one. This is oh, I can move it so I can see it. Okay. So this one. So now we move to a pastel one, and I like pastels. I use the hard pastels. It's similar to charcoal. Some people don't like the charcoal because it's like sort of a little bit messy, but I actually like the feel of it. And the pastels come in on all different colors, and I can blend them and I can use a hard edge or a softer edge to create the image with. So the story behind this one is that we also live near Blue Hills, and Blue Hills is a conservation area, part of Audubon Society, and they have a zoo there where they rehab animals. They have some that are permanently there on display because they can't go back in the wild. And so they're essentially the animals become like ambassadors to their education programs.
Mm.
So I would take some pictures. They had some fenced-in areas and cages where certain birds had a certain amount, and they had a red fox, which I love the color of the red fox. This one day I went there, he was sleeping, and it looks like really cute, curled up, sort of curled and like huddled up in the sleep. So I took it, and then when I came home, when I did the actual image, I didn't want to have him in the pen area, so I set the setting. I made the setting. I drew a log in the back, and to add the color in other areas, when you're doing a painting, you want to have different color, spread throughout here and there throughout the picture. So I made it fall, and the red leaves against his coat color, which is reddish orange, and then the brown in the back with the log. And I felt like it was a really sweet, peaceful scene that I was creating of this fox out in the wild. That's what I felt. I feel things, so I try to express that through my artwork. Go to the next one. Oh, this is my scratch board. I don't know if anyone knows what scratch board is, so I'll just explain it. It's a stiff piece of paper, and there's a layer of clay, white clay, and then that white clay is topped with black ink. And unlike drawing on a piece of paper, a white piece of paper on black, it's actually like reverse, because what you do is you use I use an X-Acto knife, and I scratch out the light area, which you're scratching away the black ink to expose the white clay underneath. And you can make lines, all kind of different lines, and different weights of lines, and like here, this is Albion Falls, which is located on the edge of Lincoln and Cumberland. Me and my girls and my husband, we like to go places to walk, go walking or hiking. And this is a very lovely place. It's actually along the Blackstone bike path. It runs right along here, and it's a dam, and it's so beautiful there. You can sit. There's places where you could sit along the edge and listen to the water rushing down. And that's when I was drawing this, I was thinking of what it looks like, the rushing down and then rippling at the bottom. What? Oh, you can buy scratch. My husband just said I had a question. Where do you buy it? You can buy this at an art store. There's a couple of local art stores. There's Blick Art Materials near Wickenden Street, and then there's Cherry Artorama. It's now on North Main Street in Providence. It's near the Whole Foods Plaza. So here's another. I know I have a lot of scratch board. I really like the media. This is a full moon I did recently. It's not a very big image, but it's for 5x7. I done, as you see, I've done 8x10 as I go along, but these are a couple of my, where I've been home and I've only, I've done some artwork here and there, but the full moon, since we're home, it's like we like to go outside. We need to get outside the house and like admire nature around us and go for walks. And we had a full moon. Was it last month? At the end of last month, we had a couple of full moons. And me and my daughter like went outside and it glows. This big full moon like glowing in the sky. And you can see the face of the moon. Well, they're not actually face, but it's the craters. So you can see the texture of the moon. And I try to bring that feeling to my art. Or when I do the artwork, I bring those feelings into when I do them. I think about the moment. Then I use that energy through me to create the artwork. I just keep going again. This is one of the, this is 8x10. Okay. This is one of the ones that I exhibited back in 2010. I had a solo exhibit with Bank RI. And this is my one of elephant. I actually really love elephants. I like going to the zoo and seeing them. They're so big. Yeah. Yeah, I liked. Yeah, elephants are really incredible. They're not only like really huge but they're really smart too, and they have a good memory. And what's really cool to watch is that trunk of theirs. They can pick up even a small blade of grass with it. At one moment, another moment they can take a tree branch and literally break it off a tree. I mean, they're really amazing. So I'm always amazed by nature. You can learn a lot by what you see around you. It's about observing and learning from that. And this is actually one of my favorites. This was also in an exhibit with Bank RI. These are, I call this tiny snow caps. And what it is it's a snow, and these were black-eyed Susans in the spring and summer. And when we moved here, I realized we had black-eyed Susan in the front and in the backyard, which is really cool because I really like the black-eyed Susans. But I remember one winter day, I was going outside and I hadn't cleared them away. I'd cleared the leaves away, but they were still there. And I looked down and this is like what I saw. I saw these brittle stems and hard centers. And because it had snowed, they had snowflakes on them and they looked like little snow caps. And I thought, that's sort of, when you look at a mountain with a snow cap, it's a lot bigger. But these are like, to me, it was like, oh, similar, but at a totally different size. It was these small size. And maybe look around and see, like, snow really covers like everything when it does snow. And it's really quite beautiful. And so I did a scratch photo of it. And I did the ivy in the black. We had ivy as a backdrop. But I really like this. Black-eyed Susan. And I like how the white and the black sort of intermingle and connect. And I did that perfect. You know, I did as I'm going along. I'm like designing and seeing the different shapes when I'm doing the artwork. So sometimes you just got to go with that flow. Even if I have an image in my mind in the beginning, sometimes it changes as I'm going along. And I've learned that over time that sometimes you just got to go with that gut, because if you go on, try to just do what you had set in the first place, usually it doesn't work out so good because it's like you're pushing too much. So sometimes you just got to let go and let that whatever creating come out and let it become what it will. And it's usually like really cool. I'm usually happier, much happier than I was when I started. And it's really therapeutic to do artwork too, because you're going through the process of creating, and you're not thinking about all the things going on around us. You can focus and let things just come out of you, and you doesn't have to be there's no such thing as perfect. So if you just, it's about just expressing, putting that down and letting it unfold as it does. Oh, what's next? Oh, what am I up to? Oh, okay. Oh, now we have my t-shirts. At one point I made a small line of t-shirts. I made some horse images, and then I went to a professional screen printer and I had them screen printed them. And I sold them at art fairs and at what's called tack shops, but which are actually horse supply and rider stores. And here's one. This is the first one I'm going to show you. It's called Jumper Pony. And again, the situation is when I start out, I go out into the community, and here I'd been going to horse shows to get pictures of horses in action or however, and for references and I noticed this reference when the picture I looked at, I liked how the horse and the girl, like it was like they were a team coming up and they were like rising to go over the jump. So I did, this was done in charcoal on drawing paper, and then I took that drawing and I took it to the screen printer and he made a screen for it, and they're available on, I chose to, you could decide on what color t-shirts. It wasn't just, I decided to go with blue for to have a blue background. And this was, this did sell well in the horse supply stores. Oh, I can go to the next one. Okay. This is called Gallop Pony, and this was the original that was done in pen and ink, and I've since I tend to work traditionally a lot of times, but I also, with all the computers and computer graphic software, you can it allows you to do other things too. So I've delved into that, and so I did the pen and ink first, then I scanned it onto my computer, and then I was able with the computer program to add color. And then once I had my original image, done, I could take it to my professional printer, screen printer, and he could print it on the t-shirts. And yeah, this was another, I have these available in children's sizes, and this was another one of my popular designs. Next one, I also offer pet portraits. I've done a number of pet portraits over the years. And I like to say, because pets don't stay still, and once again, you have to take pictures of them beforehand or get pictures from the owner and then go home. And then I go back to my studio and I work on the portraits. And here's one that a friend commissioned me to do for a gift. It was her friend's dog. I'm not sure if he passed away then or he wasn't doing well, and she wanted to have a memorial kind of portrait done and to remember him. So she gave me this picture. I actually really like the photograph, the way he's like just relaxed and lying in his home there. And she told me she always put the little bandana on him. That was like his thing to wear. Go next one. And this is what I call young writers. I do some people, but even though I've done a lot of animals, I have done people too. This was a commission. Actually, I used to set my art table up at a horse show at Phelan Farms in Lakeville. And the father, actually commissioned me to do this portrait of his little daughter and her pony. And it's neat because I also have the thing of being there, the connection of being there and seeing during the horse show, all these other horses are getting warmed up for their class and to show. And yet in the corner off somewhere, you see this white pony let out and the little girl gets to ride on her little pony on the edge of the horse show. And I always thought it was so sweet. Apparently he was aging too, because as we know, animals don't live as long as we do at times. He was where he was at. And so he commissioned me to do a portrait of his daughter on her little pony. So I did that. I was very grateful to be able to put my input into doing the drawing of her. Did I go too fast? Okay. Yeah. So this is. Okay, I'll go back. So this is my contact information. My business is Lisa's Art and Horses. The website's lisasart.com. It's just one word, Lisa's Art, as you can see. I have my email here, Lisa's Art, Lisa Garino 181 at Verizon.net, and my phone number. Thank you for letting me share. I'll go back.
Well, Lisa, another round of applause. Absolutely. Beautiful work. Absolutely beautiful work. I remember attending your exhibit at Bank, Rhode Island. I can't believe it's 10 years ago already. And I think that was maybe my first introduction to seeing scratchboard, because I was really not that familiar with it. And I was so amazed because it's kind of, is it kind of rare to do scratchboard? Like, is it more in the minority of artwork or?
Yeah, it is. Most of, as we all have seen, it's usually oils or acrylics or watercolor. There are mixed medium. You see our mixed media at times, but yeah.
Is it difficult to work in scratchboard?
It can be, but I enjoy the challenge.
Right, you have to enjoy it, otherwise it could be freaking.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, right. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you have any questions that you want to answer via chat, or if anyone else has any questions that they didn't type into chat or whatever.
I see one. Where can you buy scratch? Oh, yeah, I already answered that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 art stores in Providence. There's Blick Art Materials and Jerry Artorama.
And what do you use to do the scratch on the scratch board?
I use an X-Acto knife.
Okay.
Oh, I see a question for Roberta. Are your children artistic as well? Yes. Amanda's seeming to take after me. She's done a number of drawings, and lately she for the holidays she got bricks of Palantina clay, and she's using that. She's like making all these little clay animal sculptures. It's really nice. I enjoy the sharing my knowledge with her and interacting with that. It's really wonderful.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. I enjoyed your presentation very much.
Roberta, the picture behind you is beautiful.
Oh, thanks. This is Andy Warhol's version of Botticelli by Venus. You remember coming out of the clamshell?
Yeah,
but
I
it's
recognize
so like
the
Andy Warhol
form.
with the crazy colors.
Yeah, Venus, yeah, the god.
Just a poster.
Yeah.
But it actually used to hang in my mother's actually dressing area, and she's sadly no longer with us, but all 4 of us children wanted it. And somehow I lucked out.
Well, it's very pretty.
I thought it was appropriate for Sisterhood.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just on purpose.
Oh, I see another question.
There's some questions. Yeah, the first question is, are your children artistic as well? I may be being, I don't know. I think they are. I'll say that. That may be just my opinion, but I think they're very talented. But go ahead, Lisa.
Oh, actually, Emily is more touches more on my animal loving side. She's actually she's actually involved in taking a course for a vet technician, and we recently added a furry member of the family. We now have a little baby rabbit because she wanted a pet. So he's very cute. He's very cute.
And Amanda.
Yeah, and Amanda, we all love it.
Amanda's talented.
Someone asked, what happens if you make a mistake on the scratcher board? Well, I usually have India ink, which if there's like a white line that I didn't want there before, I take my India ink and I have a calligraphy pen and I just blacken it. And yeah, that's the way to fix it.
Anybody else have any?
Jeremy.
Do you see any of it?
He's in there. And also, Amanda, our other daughter, is very much taken after Lisa and doing a lot of the
I
artwork.
said that already.
Did you? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I missed that. And then, thank you, Elaine. I love that elephant one as well. That's an awesome one, I think.
Did you want to say any more about that?
I just wanted to say that my stepfather also loved it, and we gave it to him years ago as a gift, and they have it up in their living room, and we're always reminded of when they go over there. My stepfather, rest in peace, he's not here anymore, but he loved that one.
Yeah, my mom and dad are gone too, so I know what that feels like. But yeah. What mosquitoes did they prefer? I'm trying to remember. She likes the clay. She works in pen and ink, marker. That's what she's been doing lately. Do I still have shirts for sale? Yes, I do. So if you're interested, you can always contact me. Anyway. She likes the clay. It was sort of funny she was thinking of buying clay, and her uncle ordered it from Amazon or whatever, and we got it, and she opened it up, and it was just these like bricks of clay. So when we were on Zoom, this is really funny. We're on Zoom, we Zoom with the family. She went up, she looked at her uncle, and she's like, "You gave me bricks." But there is a way to soften it. You can like put it in the microwave for a few minutes and soften it up, and she's figured it out. It's good.
See that again, Max? Can you hold it up?
I should turn off the background.
You should turn off the background because it's not working. It's just.
Sorry about that.
That's a she did a Chinese dragon.
She's actually got a bunch of them over here. She's been working on that ever since at Hanukkah when she got that gift. She's been working on them a lot. I don't know if I want to show them all because I don't know if she'd be okay with that. But
well, Lisa, I want to thank you and Max.
He couldn't resist jumping in.
For being with us today. It was fantastic. And Aileen, I can't thank you enough. Both of you were absolutely so talented, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I hope you, as the artist, enjoyed presenting as well. We appreciate so much you taking time out of your busy schedule to share your talents with us. And again, for everyone that joined us today, I really appreciate all of you doing that. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or if you want to just look at their work again, please feel free to visit their website. And if you have questions, they'll be happy to answer you. I know that. So again, thank you so much. And hopefully we'll be seeing each other soon. Okay, thank you so much again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Deborah, too. Thanks for everything.
Thanks, Lynn.
Setting this up.
As well, and Debbie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Elaine.
Real appreciation for the amount of work involved. Oh my goodness, thanks.
Absolutely. So long, folks.
So long.
My pleasure.
Oh, should I just leave?
All right.